Hello, my name is Dr. Matt Harris, and this is my EdTech vlog. Today I'm going to talk to you about something that should guide you as you move into your summer conference season or you start looking at professional development opportunities or even planning for the upcoming year. And that is a focus on quality, not quantity. So let me tell you what I'm talking about. I go to a number of conferences. I have access to a number of tools here in my school. I talk to a lot of people, and I find it to be too much. I find that though we have done some great things here in terms of what we're offering for our teachers, we're really offering too much. We have too many systems that we do here. We have too many processes. We have too many things that are solving problems. And what ends up happening is that we have a lack of depth. We have a lack of really lasting impact in any one particular area. And what I'm going to argue is that having impact in one particular area, or maybe two or three, is far more important than having the options for everything. So let me give you this metaphor. So when you walk into a grocery store, so imagine you're walking into a grocery store and you're starving. You're so very hungry. What happens to you? What happens to me is I walk into the grocery store and I see all these options for food and I can't make a choice. I don't know what I really need. I don't know what's really going to satisfy me. And that's what happens in EdTech in a lot of schools and a lot of places. We go to these conferences, we see a million things that interest us. We go to the vendor floor and there's an exposition of tons and tons and tons of things that would be great for our school, and we can't find that one thing that will have lasting impact. We don't find that one or two set of toys or tools or concepts that are like, you know what, I'm going to bring this back and I'm going to spend some time on it. This is going to be excellent. This happens in schools too. We have a list of software and services and vendors and tools and devices, and we can't figure out as teachers what is the best tool for the job right now. And teachers that want to grow their practice and make themselves more technologically adept run into the same problem. Say, well, you know, I see a teacher over here that's great at this. I see another teacher over here that's great at that. I need to be a Google expert and a Microsoft expert and use Common Sense Media and BrainPop and all of these items. And I need to do it well because I see that person do it and this person do it and that person do it. And this kid needs that and this kid needs that. I'm getting exhausted just even describing this. It's too much. And one of the things that we don't recognize is that Google expert over there and that Microsoft expert over there and the Apple person over there, they don't intermix as much. The people that stand out to us in social media and the ones that are presenting at these conferences, they can't do everything. But what they can do, they do well. And that's this idea that finding quality within educational technology is the real key. It's the real bang for the buck, and it's where teachers and leaders and schools are going to find the most successes if they narrow their scope, find a few systems or products or tools or concepts that you're going to use in depth, and then go for it. Use them in depth. So from a school's perspective, think of it this way. So my school that I'm in right now, we've had a lot of change over the last few years. It's what I was brought in for, was to help the school make this move towards excellence. And it's interesting, we've made amazing strides in putting a lot of things in place, and any one of them you just kind of go, that's great. And I'm very proud of it as a school. But on the whole, on the aggregate, it has to be asked, are we still moving towards excellence, or are we just doing a number of things at certain variations of success? So what we're going to do next year is we're going to slow down. We're going to stop adding new things. We're not going to make major changes. We're going to focus on using the tools that we have better. We're going to use our learning management system to communicate with others. We're going to use it to offer dynamic, engaging, personalized instruction for students as a supplement to some of the things they're getting in the classroom. We're actually lowering our budget a bit to get rid of some of the systems that we have here on campus because it's too much. If we have a system, we usually get, if we want a system to solve a particular problem, we usually get it. But that's too much, right? Why not focus on a few systems and ensure that we're doing them to a level of excellence? So what we've done is we've identified 4 major systems and programs at the school, and we're going to focus on those 4 systems in our support of teachers in our development of curriculum, and our investigation around student learning outcomes. How do those 4 systems ensure that we're meeting our charge to help everybody learn? And that's it. Something new comes along, we'll take a look at it. A small group of us will look at piloting it. And then what we're going to do is, if it looks like it's something that we'll want to bring on, something has to go. Because we want to do well with the items that we have, rather than having multiple items so it looks like we're doing a lot. I don't want to do a lot. Our school doesn't want to do a lot. We want to be excellent in what we do and what we do offer. And I'd recommend that for other schools as they're looking around. What are you landing on? I'm going to be a Microsoft school. I'm going to be a Google school. I'm going to use Apple products. I'm going to use BYOD. Why are you doing that, and how are you going to use that at depth? Don't say, well, we're going to use Apple products and then we're going to bring in these other tools later on, and you know what, actually I need this system over here for this one project. Don't do that. Find the things you're good at and stick with them. And then as the leaders in the school, you have the opportunity to influence how teachers are focusing their efforts and supporting them in professional development offerings and how you want them to use those systems. And so what I suggest, again, for leaders is to follow the same model of our schools and find 1 or 2 things that you want the school to be excellent and known for, and focus your professional development areas in those places. So teach them how to use Google in depth, how to use Google as a tool, and then how to use it for pedagogy. Go down the rabbit hole. Go look into some options there that are really going to help out your teachers to teach each of their particular subjects. Be great at it, so you know that a teacher in grade 1 can do things in a similar way that somebody in grade 8 could do. That there are things done across the curriculum that are done with the same tool, and then as you look to improve everything that's going on pedagogically in your school, you can focus in one piece because there's a level of quality and trust within that one area. If you start saying that the biology department wants to use this VR tool, and then the grade 1s want to use this drawing tool, and somebody else wants another tool, and I've got a timing thing over here, that can be too much. So we actually have a policy here at our school in terms of our iPads. You have to apply for an app. If you want to use a new app, whether it's free or pay for, you have to apply for it, and you have to give the pedagogic reasons why you're going to use it. And then we pretty fairly say no to a lot of things because we might already have something similar, or we just don't want to add so many things onto our systems and onto our iPads that are overwhelming. We're looking to have some core apps, some core elements, and use them at quality and be able to provide professional development for those apps at a high level of quality. So that's something that we do as a leadership team. Now, in terms of teachers, I'd say the same thing. The teachers that have the most struggle with technology think they have to do all things. They have to be all singing and all dancing. They have to know every element of every product. They have to use technology all the time. It's a frequency game. It's a contact sport. Use it as much as you can. No, it's not. It's about finesse. It's about finding a few projects, a few products, and being experts in those. And there's a long-term downstream effect of this. If you do many things very poorly, then your students don't develop the skills and knowledge beyond the basic retention that they've got to take in. They're not going to learn any of those key skills around project management, about resilience and grit, around doing a quality job on their own. They won't learn any of that if you give them too much. There is more benefit in focusing on one project at quality than having 3 small projects going that are just of quantity. Now, with 3 projects, you could teach history, science, and math with various tools, but if you focused on one particular area and you said, you know what, I'm going to do a great project here, and I'm going to use my central tool, I'm going to use Mystery Skype is going to be a central point for my global connections, and I'm going to get excellent at this. I'm going to understand how to get back and forth with these other schools and put the things that we're looking for, guide my questions, understand how the technology can be used all over the place. That one experience, as opposed to having a pen pal over here and having a we're sending videos over there, or we're doing some Google collaboration over there as part of our global connections. Those are thin. Those are an inch deep, and you want a mile deep. So go into quality around one particular area, one particular tool. And then what I'd suggest to you is, as you're looking at your professional development resources, people you're going to out online, or conferences you're going to, go look at those speakers. Go ask them what their niche is. What is the thing that they're very good at? And most likely it's a fourth grade teacher that decided that Nearpod was something that was going to be a huge tool for them. Now, they're probably not very good at another learning management system. They may not be great at other collaboration tools, but they're very good at Nearpod. And those students, though they're having a different experience than you're having in your school with your learning management system, or your collaboration tool, or your communications tool, they are having an amazing experience because they have a teacher that understands the quality impact of that tool and how it's being used, and is passionate about it, and isn't trying to be all things. It's not about the quantity of EdTech, it's about the quality. It's about having the ability to go into one tool and do it really, really well. So as you're looking around this summer, or any summer, and sorry to use summer for my Southern Hemisphere friends, but as school gets out and you go to these conferences and start looking at the smorgasbord, and you start looking at the grocery store of options, find one. Find two. Find one or two themes that you're going to listen to within the workshops. And go on depth and say, this is something I'm really going to do. And then you know what? Ignore the noise. Ignore everything else that's happening outside of the thing that you care about the most. That will have such a great impact on you as a teacher, because you'll have purpose and you'll have the ability to focus on the needs of students within the context of something you deeply understand, and the students will develop skills and understandings that are so important to them. It really is a measure of impact when a teacher can provide quality lessons and projects, not when they can cover everything they believe that's needed with a multitude of tools, and they can push people back and forth. It just doesn't work that way. So again, to everybody out there, as you're going and you're thinking about next year and all these great things you're going to do, don't do everything. Do a couple things really, really well and stick with it. All right, thanks a lot. Have a good day.